Scoring would continue fast and furious for both teams in the first quarter as both teams scored at will. But the turning point in the game might have been the last play of the first quarter with Providence waiting for the last shot. It got the big momentum-changing basket. Bryce Brewer's drive at the end of the quarter gave Providence a 20-18 lead, but it would be a lead they would hold on to the entire rest of the ball game. Providence was 8 points at the half, but it didn't take long in the second half for the team to begin to pull away. Timeout would do little to change momentum as Providence got another stop and another score, and the rout would be on. Providence dribbled out the clock. They got the big revenge win, allowing it to go back to its first sectional championship game since Coach Nick Cutter's 2009 team played Brownstown in that memorable classic. Well, the big sectional championship game couldn't have started any worse for Providence. People were kind of just assuming that this was going to be an easy win for us. Did you hear that stuff?
I heard it, but didn't necessarily believe it.
Didn't start out that way either. We start out and we're getting smacked. I think it was 14-3 in the first quarter. Lefebvre calls a timeout in the first quarter. You know things are bad. Any thoughts at that point in time?
It was a terrible start. I mean, they hit everything. We couldn't hit anything. But we knew it was a long game. We had to play 4 strong quarters, and it took.
Yeah, we were all looking up though because they started off shooting really hot, and we knew that had slowed down, and we just had to keep staying patient on offense, not forcing things.
So as they started piling up the points early on.
Well, I mean, there was no doubt in our minds that 14-3, we knew we weren't done. You know, there's been so many games this season where we've got down and.
And then this stop and basket right before the end of the half put Providence right back into the ball game, ending the first quarter at only 14-8. Start the second quarter, and what seemed like in a blink of an eye, Providence would suddenly be ahead. And Aaron Shorty, right off his sickbed, hit this big three to pull the team within 1 point at 14-13. And when Dalton Dooley would hit this three-pointer, Providence would have a 16-14 lead. Blink of an eye. Crawford County would stay close, and then in the third quarter, they would actually pull away to a 4-point lead at the end of the period. With Crawford County up 4, this huge steal by George Knott will lead to a basket that allowed Providence to cut the lead to 2. After holding the ball for the last 2 minutes of the period to get the last shot, Crawford County got the score they wanted with just a few seconds left. After missing the second free throw, this would set the stage for the biggest basket of the season. With Providence down by 2, the whole momentum of the ball game changed as Bryce Berry pulled up with 1 second left in the quarter and nailed a huge three-pointer that not only gave the team a 1-point lead, but gave them some fierce momentum going into the final quarter. And Providence would score on its first 4 possessions of the period. This on first one on the big putback by Ryan Piccolo. After a stop, this huge basket by Colin Daly. And then with this basket by George Knott, the lead would be 8. And then the play that was the dagger. Wow, everything was falling for Providence. And then Providence began to run the time down.
feeling about that championship?
It was one of the greatest feelings in the world, just to know that you can actually, through all the hard work and everything that you put in all the time, that you can win that championship.
First time I ever won sectionals, and I'm glad it came my senior year. I'm glad it eventually came, and it was fun.
Exciting sectional championship win. Your first sectional championship?
Yep. In my sports.
Yeah. Well, how was that feeling cutting down the nets there?
Awesome. Unbelievable. Sweet.
Any more adjectives you want to throw in?
Well, after a 4-year absence, Providence was finally back at the Southwoods Regional, playing the morning game against North Dakota.
Every night is a big and bright, it's a supernatural delight. Every border was dancing in the moonlight. Everybody here is out of sight. They don't bark and they don't bite. They everybody
Right off the bat, Providence would show that they were ready to play.
dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a wonderful sight. Everybody.
But the big 300-pound kid on North Dakota would be ready too, so it would not be clear sailing for Providence just yet.
Stay uptight, it's supernatural delight.
The Providence will play well enough to take a 8-point lead into the halftime before really revving it up in the second half. 5 straight baskets at the end of the third quarter would basically break the game open.
Everybody here is out of sight, and they don't fight. They keep things loose, they keep things alive. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Everybody light, everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a
And by the end of the fourth quarter, everybody would get a chance to pile it on as Providence rolled to a 56-29 win, sending it into the finals against the number 2 ranked team in the state, Eastern Green.
It's a great experience, just knowing, I've never heard of any next step in a tournament, playing 2 games in one day, and we all knew it was going to be a challenge, but like we knew we could do it, and we knew next team we played, they were on a 23-game winning streak, something like that, and we knew they were a really good team, but we knew that wouldn't stop us from playing to the best of our ability. And
They were considered the favorites. In fact, we weren't even considered the second team. It was, people were saying the first winner of the first game, Eastern Green and Forest Park, was probably going to win the regional. How'd you feel about that?
I kind of took that as a slap in the face, because we had a good record all year, and we knew that we were obviously playing good, and we knew it would be Eastern Green if we played hard.
But the Evansville newspaper was so sure that Eastern Green would win, they posted it on their website and put it in Sunday's paper that Eastern Green had defeated Providence. They didn't even stick around for the ball game. And for anybody who didn't stick around for the game, you missed one heck of a ball game.
we get it almost every night. When that moon gets big and bright, it's supernatural delight. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Delight. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight.
Providence would get out to the early lead, holding Eastern Green to only 2 points in the first quarter. Providence would hold Eastern Green's big star Division I signee JT Yoho scoreless for the first period. Providence capped off a nice first quarter, hitting the last shot at the buzzer.
They don't fight, they keep things loose, they keep things alive. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Everybody
Eastern Green Star would eventually get on track in the second quarter, and so would the Eastern Green offense, and they would get themselves right back in the ball game. This three-pointer would give Eastern Green the lead, but Providence would reel off 3 straight baskets at the end of the half to take the lead back. First came on this three by Dalton Dooley. Next on this drive and dish by Colin Daly to George Knott. And the final score of the half came on this huge rebound by Ryan Pickerel, and nice dish, giving Providence the lead at the intermission. Would be filled with great plays by both teams as the game went back and forth.
Everybody here is out of sight. They don't bark and they don't fight. They keep things loose. They don't fight. They keep things loose. They keep things alive. Everybody was dancing in the
Providence holding for the last shot at the end of the third quarter. They would get the bucket to go ahead 33-30 with 1 period to play. In the fourth quarter, Eastern Green Star would try to take over the game. After this three-pointer by Eastern Green, Providence was trailing with less than 3 minutes to play. But this awesome driving layup by Bryce Berry gave Providence back the 1-point lead with less than 2 minutes to play. Unfortunately, Yoho was able to answer right back to give Eastern Green the 1-point lead right back with 1.5 minutes to play. Pace all through the playoffs. Offensive rebounding would be the big difference. Dalton Dooley with the big offensive rebound and putback would put Providence ahead with just over 1 minute to play. Providence would get the stop and would get the ball back. And with the time ticking down, Eastern Green would have to foul. And the man of the hour would be Colin Daly. And Colin, who had not had a great year at the free throw line, will get ready to shoot a 1-and-1, the most important.
And like you said, free throws wasn't my biggest part of my game this year. I kind of struggled from the line, or not kind of. I did struggle from, but lately, my great teammate George Knott had just told me to take my time and visualize the basket going in smoothly before.
And that's exactly what happened. First one put Providence up 2, and the second one put them up 3. One more stop, and the game would probably be in the bag. Fortunately, Providence couldn't hold on to the rebound, giving Eastern Green a chance to get another 3-point try, setting up this huge play by Mr. Colin Daly. Once again, splash, the lead was 4. And this one, with a little soft touch, made it 5. This desperation putback with just a few seconds left cut the lead to 3. Seconds left, although we can't see this last desperation chance. It would come up long, and Providence would be the regional champions. Wow.
Well, let's talk about that feeling of being the region champions there.
That was unexplainable. Just knowing that we were going to semi-state for only the second time in the 50-something years.
Yep, you've heard so much about the legends of 5 years ago and all those players and how awesome they were, and then you equaled every single thing that they did.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
Just awesome. Just because I looked up to those guys when I was
A star at St. Anthony.
yeah, there you go. When I was 11 or 12 or something like that, and just knowing that I was like going to play where they played was just
Equaling the best team in Providence history, and you're part of that. Explain your feelings about that.
It's a pretty cool thing to know that you were one of the top 2 teams ever to play through the school's history. But knowing that you could up that one to winning another game is a pretty awesome thing to feel. But now that you were one of the top 2 teams
in Providence history, and you're part of that. Explain your feelings about that.
It's a pretty cool thing to know that you were one of the top 2 teams ever to play through the school's history. But knowing that you could up that one to winning another game is a pretty awesome thing.
All right, so we go to the semi-state and the Final Four. You're playing the team that everyone feels is the team to beat. Team that won the state championship last year, has all their players back. And what were people saying about our chances that week?
Everyone knew that Park Tudor had the upper hand, having a few D1 recruits, but we all knew, we were all still confident that we could win. They were ready to play, and we felt that we could win, even though that they were so hyped up, and the newspaper with everyone saying that Providence, they've made a good run, but they couldn't win.
But those who thought that Park Tudor was in for an easy win were in for a little bit of a surprise here. In the second half, it looked like Providence might actually pull away. Providence took a 39-30 lead late in the third period. But unfortunately for the Pioneers, it wouldn't last. This ended the third quarter basket would tie the score at 43 off the fourth quarter of the All-Park Tudor. And this basket basically ended Providence's hopes as Park Tudor would advance to the final game, ending
Your basketball career.
Yeah, so many great memories. I mean, it's all about basketball. I mean, I love this sport. I always will. And playing basketball for Providence and Coach Lou, I've everything that I've learned, I'll remember throughout the rest of my life. And just a great experience, and I'll never forget it.
Well, I'll remember you the rest of my life too there, Colin.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Season came to a sad conclusion. Any regrets on the season?
Not one.
What about that dunk?
Okay. Definitely.
You didn't dunk the whole year.
Yeah.
And my plan for you was that you dunked like many, many, many times.
Yeah.
Can you explain yourself here? I mean, you spent so much time working on it. You worked on it every practice break of every day, and sometimes after practice also.
My hands are...
How does it feel about putting so much time into it and getting so little production?
My hands during the practice breaks were not as sweaty as they were during games.
Okay.
I just couldn't hold on to the ball.
If you came to me, I would have given you the solution. It's called, it's called, and they were big in the 70s, wristbands.
Oh, wristbands.
Yes, they keep the sweat off of your hands. All right, now we got that cleared up. Next year's going to be a dunking bonanza.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
All right, anything else to say, Ryan, for posterity of this videotape, which you'll be having your little grandkids watch someday?
Just, I love this team.
What about your grandkids? Your message to them?
Get here one day.
Get here one day?
No problem. And there you have it. That's the story of the 2011-2012 Providence basketball team, a legendary team made up of legends who will never be forgotten. Thanks for everything you did for Providence.